Do you like metal and alternative music? What about gigs and festivals? If you also like film and TV, video games, and a healthy dose of 90s nostalgia, I think you just found your favourite podcast. I'm Stu, or you may know me as SMTV. Shall we get to Trash Talking? Hello, yes, and welcome to episode 7 of Trash Talking with me, your host Stu, or you may of course know me as SMTV. Now, I have been a busy boy. If you haven't seen already, we've gone through quite the rebrand. We've basically changed everything visually for SMTV and Trash Talking, and I for one am extremely pleased with how it's turned out. I couldn't be happier, honestly. I hope you all like it. I thought I'd go for something that's fresh, brand new. Obviously, if you've seen the branding previously, the SMTV, the MTV side of things was obviously a parody on MTV, as in music television. Not that I'm expecting them to be knocking my door anytime soon, but the last thing I wanted to do was go too far, build some kind of brand recognition within the scene, like the gig scene, music scene, festival scene, podcast scene, the scene, and then have Mr. MTV knocking on the door saying, handing me a cease and desist letter. So now is the time for a change, and it's a bloody good one. I'm quite happy to say so. So before we jump into the episode, we obviously want to thank our incredible patrons. But before we do that, I just want to pass on a message from my good friend, Fat Frank. Yes, I'm very happy to announce that I will once again be collaborating with my good friends at Fat Frank's Camping Shop. With the remaining festivals of festival season this year, we have Bloodstock, Reading and Leeds Festival, and Latitude Festival. If you go ahead and go to fatfrankscampingshop.com, go to click and collect, fill your basket with all the goodies you want, and use the code SMTV10, that's SMTV10. This will give you 10% off your total order. Now, all you need to do is pack your essentials and rock up to the site. Go ahead and find Fat Franks and show your QR code that you'll be sent on email, and you'll get all of your goodies handed to you. Here at SMTV and Fat Franks, we of course believe in a leave no trace ethos, so if you brought it here, you take it back. On to the patrons. Now, I have updated the tiers on Patreon, so we're going to very quickly just go through those, just so everyone's got a true understanding of what's going on now. So, starting at £1 a month, the SMTV Appreciation Society. This tier is to just show that you care about me as a content creator and just appreciate what I do. Up next is the one with the podcast shout out. This one is £4 a month. So show your appreciation to me as a content creator. This gives you access to the SMTV Patreon playlist. This is my master playlist, previously known as Heavy MF. Some of you may have already had that one saved, but I will invite you as a collaborator where you can add any and all music that you would like to. Also with this tier, you get access to the monthly SMTV live stream, and you also get a shout out at the start of every episode of the Trash Talking podcast. Up next is the podcast shout out plus car sticker tier. At £5 a month, this gets you all of the features of the previous tier, plus an SMTV Trash Talking podcast car sticker. Up next is the one with all the shoutouts. For £7 a month, you get all of the previous bonuses from each tier, including the car sticker, and you also get a shoutout at the end of every video on YouTube. Up next is the big one. At £10 a month, you get all of the features from the previous tiers, and you also get an executive shout out at the start of every episode of Trash Talking Podcast, along with an executive shout out at the start of every video on YouTube. Now, we do have people in the SMTV Appreciation Society. Your support does not go unrecognised. I appreciate you very much. And now it is time for the executive shout outs. So I want to pay a massive thank you to the two guys that are in the big one at the moment. We have Alexander Toon, absolute legend, and of course it's Vicky Rutter. Round of applause, everyone, for those guys. Come on, give it up. Okay, calm down. Now it is time to shout out the guys in the One with the Podcast shout out tier. Thank you both so much. We have the legend that is Jaggy Sean, and of course we have Ethan Brown. Thank you both so much. Your support is always appreciated. Couldn't do this without any of you guys. You make it all worth it. Thank you all so much. So, now that is all done and dusted, we've spread the love, Fat Frank sorted you out with 10% off. Should we get into the episode? I think so. So, yes, let's get into the second part of my Download Festival band review, which of course means we are on Saturday. I hope you bought your poncho because it's going to be a wet one. So if you haven't already listened to Friday, what the hell are you doing here? Go back and listen to that. The rest of us will wait. Okay, you're back. Good. I hope you enjoyed that. So Saturday actually started with a light shower. Yeah, not quite. It was absolutely slamming it at the start of Saturday. We woke up early, like most mornings at Download. And when it was time to go into the arena, we looked at each other, then looked at the rain, then at each other again, and we agreed we would wait for it to blow over. So whilst we did that, we sat under the gazebo that the incredible guys at Fat Frank's kindly gifted. Legend, what can I say? And we chose to get rather merry. Shots were flowing, chids poured like some ungodly Guinness and dragon soup concoction that literally looked like an oil slick. Like the, what was it now? It would be, the bottom part was blue, the dragon soup, and then the Guinness just kind of sat on top. And I'll be honest, I'm quite disappointed in myself for not drinking it. He offered it out, and it was still a bit early, to be honest. If he'd offered it me an hour later, I'd have been all over that. But the day would have took a very different turn, I must say. So after that, we then lit the candles for one of the brothers, as it was Lewis's birthday. So we couldn't afford a Colin, so we got him a Cuthbert the Caterpillar. So that was nice to have something to celebrate whilst at camp. That really brought everyone together. So as we sat under the gazebo eating a soggy chocolate cake, we were about ready to head for the arena. So it did start to get dry as we were about to leave. So it didn't actually rain all the way to the arena, which was great. And to be honest, once we arrived at Bleed From Within, the first band of the day, the weather was gorgeous. It's weird, isn't it? Like 1 second you're getting burned, 30 seconds later you're getting absolutely drenched. Skip another minute and a half and you're getting sunburnt again. This is just the wonders of Britain. Weather for plants, I like to say. That's why we've got such luscious countrysides, haven't we? So yes, Bleed From Within started off our Saturday in the arena. Not the best start to yet another day because we had a 20-minute delay at the start of that. If I do remember right anyway. It was such a pain in the arse. Even more so with the delay because we thought we'd gotten lucky, the fact that they weren't clashing with Guilt Trip as bad as initially thought. Like obviously when you're looking at Clash Finder before you go to Download Festival, you have to take it all with a bit of a pinch of salt. But when they actually released the times on the app, we thought, oh, bonus, we're going to get to see practically 45 minutes, like 75% of Bleed From Within before we need to head over to Guilt Trip. So we were happy. We thought we were going to see two of the biggest bands of the weekend for us, really. But because of this delay, we literally got to see half a song and then enjoyed the other half as we were walking over to the Dogtooth stage. So it's not a band we were able to enjoy at all. But I would still love to see them again. They're literally like our taste to a T. If you haven't already listened to Bleed From Within, the very Parkway Drive, essentially take all of the best bits of Parkway Drive and you cut out all the whispering and the all that kind of stuff, and you get Bleed From Within. So hopefully they'll be back. I'm sure they will, because they dragged in an awfully large crowd for the first band. So fingers crossed we will see them again. Obviously, we ended up missing Rob and Ramesh as well, which we were gutted about. We are big fans of Rob and Ramesh verses, but oh well. It'll be on Sky when they release it, so no harm done. So yes, as mentioned, we have Guilt Trip on the Dogtooth, which I've said time and time again is the perfect stage for some quality hardcore. It was the first time seeing Guilt Trip live, and they honestly smashed it. They have such a following, and everyone in that tent was just moving and enjoying themselves, singing, screaming, moshing, and two-stepping. They just bought it all. They've got a real quick. What am I trying to say? They've quickly gained a following, and I think it would be difficult to say that this wasn't partly thanked to the fact that they're on MLV LTD, obviously the record label belonging to Malevolence, because Malevolence are really breaking through and making a really, really, really big name for themselves now. I don't think that's doing Guilt Trip any harm, essentially being under their wing, which I'm all here for. It's great. We've got a big family going on. Keep it coming. That's what I say. Going back to Guilt Trip, with their upcoming UK tour already selling out, well, I can tell you the local gig for myself has sold out. I can tell you now, this won't be the last time you'll see Guilt Trip at Download Festival. They're that good. I'll be honest, after Guilt Trip, I can't really remember what we did for a little while. We had all intentions of catching the start of Baby Metal, so we did. But the start of Baby Metal was so drawn out to be dramatic, we didn't even see one song. It was just dramatic music with them walking around the stage. Yeah. Just as well, because we were cutting it close to getting to Slaughter to Prevail, really. So we'll move on to them. So a quick dash from main stage through the walkway left side of second stage, and we were ready for Slaughter to Prevail. Again, I remember this being a stage where I was thinking, Christ, it's getting hot. Could feel my nose burning and just really warm. The weather was gorgeous. I've actually written on my notes, when you get that sun where you just can't help but say, bloody hell, that's strong. It was that kind of sun. But then all of a sudden, a message actually pops up on the screens either side of the stage saying that something along the lines of, bear with us, we will be back soon. We weren't quite sure what was going on. We thought it was just technical difficulties behind, like backstage and that. But then you could hear the main stage had stopped playing music, so it was as though all you could hear was crowd noise, which was weird. But then, suddenly, just rain, serious rain. A poncho has never been thrown on so quick at Download Festival. It was actually so strong I couldn't even face it, as it was hurting my face. So we all kind of turned away from it and waited for it to blow over. A very wet 5 minutes later, we were back to gorgeous British summer again. It's bloody balmy, I tell you what. So anyway, as soon as that finished, everyone had got the waterproofs off, the sun was out again. Without hesitation, Slaughter to Prevail took to the stage, and what an impact they had. I've listened to them leading up to Download, and I must say, I have become a fan. Seeing them live has only enhanced this tenfold as well. It's pure energy from start to finish, incredibly talented band members, and you cannot deny Alex the Terrible's ability as a frontman. He got the crowd jumping, pumped up, started circle pits with ease, and of course he did his shouty bit without the microphone, which was incredible to see live after seeing it so many times online. And of course it was followed by him twatting himself on the forehead with his microphone, bleeding and whatever. It's just his thing. Incredible band. I'd love to see them return to Download Festival, which is a possibility if Alex has anything to do with it. As his words, he said, next time you see us, we headline this festival. So you can't deny his confidence. Up next on the main stage was Enter Shikari, a band I'd probably considered to be in my top 3 bands to see of the weekend. Other two I'd say were Fall Out Boy and Limp Bizkit. Now, time has passed, I can't be entirely sure, but I'm fairly certain this was yet another late entrance to the stage. Knowing that we had While She Sleeps to run to after, this wasn't ideal. So straight away we just weren't quite in the mood for it because we were clock watching then. So I love Shikari, but it's so unfortunate now because I would probably say loved now. When gearing up for a gig or a festival, I always listen to what was or is the most recent tour's set list. And for a time prior to their most recent UK tour, which I'm sure was the Kiss for the Whole World tour, the previous set list that was floating around was incredible. All of the bangers that I know and love. But yeah, as I say, the most recent tour, Kiss for the Whole World, they changed the set list and it really wasn't what I'd consider their best by a long mile. So, with a lackluster set list and a quite distinct lack of energy from the audience, maybe everyone else was as unimpressed with the choice of songs as me, so this may have influenced it. But we ended up just feeling quite deflated. As truly unfortunate as it was, it gave us all the more reason to leave and get a good spot for While She Sleeps. Shikari, I hope we can rekindle this love that we once had. So, While She Sleeps. If you know me, you know that I'm a big While She Sleeps fan. I've gone from seeing them in a dingy 70 cap room in Wolverhampton to seeing them headline Ali Pali. So there's nothing I love more than the pure energy that these lads bring to the stage. It doesn't matter where you see them these days, they always bring their A game. If you see my vlog from this year, you'll know exactly how incredible this performance was and how close I got to the lead singer, Loz. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're missing out, so go check it out. Go to SMTV on YouTube and watch this year's Download Festival vlog. An incredible performance from start to finish. A great set with flames, of course, and the exact thing you want from any performance at Download, energy. I feel like this will be the last time we'll see While She Sleeps on the second stage at Download. That is, of course, if they're not headlining it. They're going to end up on the main stage. I can promise you this. After While She Sleeps, I was so grateful to be able to catch some of The Offspring, a band that I've truly grown up with, starting from my parents buying me the Americana album on a CD all those years ago. We were riding a massive high after While She Sleeps, so we ran to the bar to get a couple of pints. But yeah, I remember now, in the excitement and getting my card out to pay for the drinks, I dropped my GoPro. But of course, the entire ground was reminiscent of Willy Wonka's Chocolate River. So this is why I use a GoPro, personally. Quick swill under the taps at the water station and a quick dash back over to the stage and Pretty Fly for a White Guy starts playing. I'm in absolute heaven right now. So yeah, drinks were flowing, and as they have been for a little while now. And they start playing The Kids Aren't Alright, and I have no shame in saying that I was wearing those sunglasses not only for blocking the sun's rays, but also to hide the tears in my eyes. Big softy I am. This will forever be a highlight of my Download career. I'd welcome The Offspring back without hesitation. Come back next year, please. So from here, we walk to see Pantera on the second stage, walking up through the main stage area, then veering right, if you can envision it, which, what a mistake this was. I should have known better, really. It was rammed, but I wasn't about to watch them from the bar at the back of second stage, so we persevered and tagged along with another group, weaving across the back line as if to head towards the arena exit over that way, towards by the toilets of second stage. We ended up next to the ice cream van, if you know where that is, and although it wasn't empty, we had loads of room, to be honest. Now, I don't profess to be a big Pantera fan by any means, but I must say there was something special about their performance. It was nothing short of, I want to say euphoric, is the way it felt. I knew we was witnessing metal greatness. It was simple as that. Walk sounded great. Cowboys from Hell was fantastic. And honestly, I could not get I'm Broken out of my head for weeks later. What an incredible tune that is. Thinking about it now, that's it. That's going to be in my head for the remainder of the week now. And I'm happy with that, whatever. It's a band I wouldn't commit to seeing on tour, but I do hope to see them again at a festival. Like, could you imagine a Bloodstock headline slot from Pantera? Yes, please. Now it is time for the headliner. One of the bands I'd become a genuine fan of leading up to Download Festival. It was Fall Out Boy. Now it's a band that I've listened to on Kerrang, listened to the singles and all that kind of thing, but I'd never professed to be a fan. But leading up to Download Festival, listening to their most recent set list, 100% I became a fan. I'd heard mixed reviews of them, and watching them headline a festival last year somewhere in Europe on YouTube, were left pretty unimpressed and not expecting much, to be honest. But I just want to reiterate this now, that this is something that I used to believe but don't anymore. If you watch a band on YouTube and you think they sound a bit shit, don't take that as gospel, because the amount of performances I've now seen in person and thought it sounded incredible, but then I've had someone say to me, "Nah, they sounded dreadful." "Oh, were you there?" "Nah, I watched it on YouTube." You just don't get that. One, you don't get the full experience, so you're probably not riding that wave of euphoria. And then two, you're listening to it through someone's little iPhone speaker, so you're not going to be able to hear the true quality of that band playing live. So if anyone ever says that, "Nah, the shit, I watch them on YouTube," just ignore them. Tell them to toss it off or something. Anyway, Fall Out Boy, I had the best time I think I've ever had at a headliner. Like, all my years at Download Festival, this was the most fun, I think. It was nothing short of the perfect headline performance, I thought. Every single song, one after the other, was a banger. Like the finished Grand Theft Autumn, and then they'd go into Sugar We're Going Down, and then go straight into Dance Dance, and then into A Little Less 16 Candles. Like, me and my wife, our minds were blown. We couldn't believe it that they were finishing that song and then going straight into another banger. They were incredible. The little Kerrang kids in us were so happy. And again, same we're happy. This is one of those memories that makes me happy that I do what I do. I record all these memories, and now I not only have them as that memories, we can actually watch them back, and that'll bring us happiness for, forever. It's just nice to know that I'm doing these videos and they're going to be on the internet forever. So it sounds ridiculous. If the planet still hasn't combust into a giant ball of flames when I'm 60 years old, I can go on YouTube and I can relive these Download festivals, and I don't think it gets better than that, does it really? Yeah, right. I'm getting soppy again, sorry. I'd have them back as a headliner any year. I honestly could see them coming back in 3 years' time as like the new wave of fresh headliners again. In the same way that Bring Me are probably going to come back in the next 3 years. I think Fall Out Boy will end up becoming part of that cycle, and you know what? That's great. I'm well up for it. So that was my Saturday. What an incredible day it was. It was absolutely stacked, honestly. One after the other, bands were just great. So how was Sunday? Does it live up to Saturday? Well, I guess you'll just have to come back to the next episode of Trash Talking to find that out for yourself. How was your Saturday? What was some of the most incredible bands that you saw that day? Don't forget, you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram's probably best if you want to drop me a message or just leave a comment on my post. Tell me all about your day, Saturday. Tell me which bands I should have gone to see. Tell me which bands that you agree were incredible from my review. I want to hear from you, so head over to Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. If you are just listening to the podcast and you're not aware, over on YouTube, I do full-length vlogs of festivals and other gigs, along with other content relating to the scene that we know and love. Anything rock, metal, and alternative, I'm making videos about it. So, thank you so much for listening. It really is a pleasure that I can do this for you guys. Thank you all so much. I love you, and I'll see you next time.